The fast-moving wildfires across the Hawaiian Island of Maui killed 36 people within 48 hours, while dozens of structures were damaged and destroyed in the deadly onslaught. Sazha Jasa has the details.
Residents in Maui were expecting rain and floods after they were told to prepare for a passing hurricane. But instead, they were surprised with deadly blazes that forced some people to jump into the ocean after the popular tourist spot transformed into a raging inferno in a matter of hours. The wildfires fueled by Hurricane Dora forced thousands of people to evacuate their homes, with 5 evacuation shelters open to evacuate them. Hospitals in Maui has been overwhelmed with patients being treated with burns and people suffering from smoke inhalation. A state of emergency has been declared. Firefighters are still battling active fires while a huge search and rescue operation is underway. There were 3 active wildfires burning in the Big Island, including one that destroyed the historic town of Lahaina to the ground. At least 4,000 tourists were still trying to leave Western Maui, according to the Hawaii Department of Transportation. Officials have warned the death toll may rise, while the true extent of the damage caused by the wildfire is still unknown. Reporting from Sydney, this has been Sazha Jasa, SM9 News, Australia.
The south of France is the hottest and driest region of the country and regularly battles droughts as well as wildfires. But other parts of the country are drying out too. Here's more with CGTN's Ross Cullen.
Jean-Christophe Ruffin checks the beetroot on his farm. It's one of the crops he grows to feed his livestock. The weather is crucial for farmers, but it's increasingly hard to forecast, and dry spells are having a more and more significant impact.
Climate change is real and we can see it. Harvest dates are a little earlier in the calendar than when we were young. Compared with 30 years ago, the harvest is now taking place 15 days earlier.
Increasingly frequent dry winters are exacerbating the water storage situation in the north, meaning some farmers are having to change their practices.
We have to adapt because our working environment, our factory, is all you can see out here. It's nature. So we're adapting a little. We're going to change our tillage practices a little. We're trying to keep the soil moist in case of spring droughts like this year.
Diversification is one way to manage, and alongside the beetroot, Jean-Christophe grows wheat, potatoes and maize. In the sheds, his herd is fed on the food he grows on site. These cows produce milk for market, and he also raises chickens for meat.
The north is one of the wettest regions in France, but even here they're starting to see the impact of increased winter and summer droughts.
This area of France is border country. Belgium is just a couple of kilometres away. It's a heavily populated area with a growing number of houses and widespread industry using huge quantities of water. Agriculture is also a major consumer of water. As more areas of France deal with the impacts of unseasonal dry spells, how to manage water use in the future is a major point of discussion.
We must all pay attention to water. I think we also need to harvest rainwater when it falls a lot. When it falls too much, we could collect it in basins to allow it to slowly enter the water table and recharge underground storage.
Another impact of climate change is that the regularity of the seasons is changing. It's becoming increasingly hard for farmers like Jean-Christophe to predict rainfall, plus sudden winds can blow in. And France is starting to witness longer, more intense droughts in more and more areas of the country. Ross Cullen, CGTN, Bétigny, Northern France.